In the depths of the forest, untouched by time and shadowed by ancient trees, there was once a pool, clearer than glass, still as death. The kind of place where silence had weight, and even the birds dared not sing too loud. This is where Narcissus found himself, alone. He had wandered for days, chased by the praises of nymphs, the whispers of admirers, and the noise of a world that adored his beauty. But admiration, no matter how loud, cannot fill a silent soul. And his soul, though adorned with perfection on the outside, was hollowed out on the inside. And then, he saw it. In the stillness of the water, Narcissus glimpsed a face so divine, so flawless, it took his breath away. He had never seen anything like it. It radiated youth, symmetry, power, and it looked right back at him. He fell in love, not knowing it was himself. That moment, mythical, tragic, eternal, is often used as a cautionary tale of vanity. But what if I told you it's not about vanity? What if the story of Narcissus is not about self-love at all, but about the death of it? Echoes of the ego. Before he met his reflection, Narcissus had met Echo, a mountain nymph cursed to only repeat what others say. She loved him desperately, but she had no voice of her own. And when she tried to speak, all she could do was mirror him, reflect his words, his energy, his presence, never adding her own. Sound familiar? In today's world, we are surrounded by echoes, algorithms that mimic your taste, comments that validate your bias, filters that flatter, followers who reflect. And when everyone around you is just repeating back what you already believe. Where's the truth? We confuse attention for affection, followers for friends, a curated feed for confidence. And like Narcissus, we fall deeper and deeper into our own image. We scroll not to explore, but to see ourselves, to confirm we matter, that we exist, that we are beautiful, successful, wanted, envied. But the reflection has no soul. The death of real self-love. Narcissus did not die because he loved himself. He died because he didn't know himself. He mistook his reflection for reality. He starved at the edge of a pool because he thought beauty was enough. But beauty fades, reflections distort, and the water never loved him back. Real self-love is not found in mirrors, selfies, or perfect captions. It's not found in validation from strangers. It's found in solitude, in stillness, in struggle. It's when you can sit with your imperfections and not flinch. It's when you can disappoint others but not betray yourself. It's when you stop chasing the image and start living the truth. But that's hard, because truth is raw. Truth is not always flattering. And in a world that monetizes perfection, raw truth is rebellion. The algorithmic pool. If Narcissus had a smartphone, he wouldn't need a pool. He would wake up and scroll. The face staring back would still be his. But now, it would be filtered. Smoother skin, brighter eyes, a sharper jawline. A more likable version of himself, served by algorithms built to feed his ego and slowly starve his soul. Every tap, like, and comment becomes a new ripple in the digital pool. An endless loop of, look at me. But what are we really looking for? We say it's connection, but real connection requires vulnerability, and platforms reward perfection. We say it's expression, but we're all just remixing the same trends, the same sounds, the same dances, until even our rebellion feels rehearsed. The algorithm doesn't care who you are. It cares only about engagement. If outrage performs better than honesty, you'll be nudged toward outrage. If self-doubt gets more clicks than confidence, guess what it will amplify? You don't shape the mirror anymore. The mirror shapes you. And like Narcissus, you begin to forget the difference between the image and the identity. There's a reason Narcissus couldn't look away from the water. Because when he turned his gaze inward, he found nothing. No roots, no values, no deeper self. Only silence. We see this today in the quiet panic that sets in when people are left alone. No music, no phone, no distraction, just the raw hum of their own existence. And for many, that's unbearable. Why? Because we've outsourced our identity. We rely on external reflections, likes, views, reposts, to remind us we're real. But the moment the notifications stop, Echo's revenge. But what happened to Echo? Most people forget her part of the story. After being rejected by Narcissus, she wastes away in sorrow until only her voice remains. A haunting, disembodied echo trapped in the hills. She becomes the ghost of connection, present but powerless. And that's what we've done to our relationships today. We've ghosted depth, turned conversations into comments, arguments into ratios, and friendships into follower counts. The shattering mirror. One day, Narcissus finally realized the truth. The face in the water wasn't loving him. It was using him, feeding off his attention, his obsession, his time, until there was nothing left. And in our world, that moment comes too. For some, it's burnout. For others, it's the panic of irrelevance, when the followers stop growing, or worse, start disappearing. When no amount of filters can hide the exhaustion in your eyes. When the pressure to be on becomes unbearable. This is the shattering of the mirror, the moment when the carefully crafted identity begins to crack. And for the first time, you glimpse the person behind the performance. It's terrifying, but it's also the beginning of rebirth. Because only once the illusion breaks, can the healing begin. Real self-love is undefinable. Here's the truth. Self-love is not a highlight reel. It's not spa days and glow-ups and captions that say healing. It's facing the parts of yourself that the algorithm will never reward. It's saying no to the performance and yes to the process. It's choosing meaning over metrics, presence over presentation, depth over dopamine. You don't need another like. You need a moment of stillness. You don't need to be seen. You need to see, clearly, inwardly, honestly. Because the real danger of Narcissus wasn't just that he loved his reflection. It's that he never learned to love himself without it. So step away from the pool. Turn off the camera. Close the app. Not forever. Just long enough to remember that your value isn't something that can be uploaded, filtered, or streamed. It's something you are. And when you find it, really find it, even Echo will stop repeating, because she'll finally hear a voice worth listening to.